Good morning, dear friends. This is the Monday, January 29th version of this thing of ours. I welcome you. Remind you that it is 281 days until the election. 281 days until we see whether Donald Trump can possibly make history again by winning a second or winning a re-election in a non-consecutive manner, second only to Grover Cleveland. Okay, so let us get ready. Let me get you ready for this. My head, my mind, my world, my everything is exploding right now. So let me see if I can keep my mind on track. When I get to be like this, I try to include everything because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. I'm going to miss the issue. I'm going to miss something. So I'm going to do my best to remain calm and to remain rational and to remain lucid and to remain all of the above. Let me first say that I have never been more excited for my reappearance at the cutting room Saturday. This Saturday. I love saying that. I can't wait. It's like I think a mother might feel when her baby is coming to term and they're going to do a cesarean and she says, I just got to get this done with. I can't take this anymore. I can't wait. I can't wait for this. I've had enough. The waiting and the talking and the getting ready. I just want to do it. I could do it right this moment. Just walk up on stage and start talking. And one of the reasons why is I have the best training in the world through you every day. And this is the link right here. Oh, pardon me, my mistake. Pardon me, dear friends. Hang on a minute. Remember, I'm a one-man show. I don't have any producers. There we go. That's the link. I can't say it again. Speaking to you is really the best training practice. Plus, it gives me something which a lot of people, I don't want to say my age, but anybody, I'm able to speak over 3 hours between, in the morning, I normally do about an hour. It depends until sometimes we got to just end this thing early. But anyway, let's just say an hour. Hour in the morning, hour in the evening, then the private channel, then the other YouTube stories. So I'm constantly forced to recreate, to reset, to re-explain all that's going on in the world and putting myself through mental exercises most people do not go through. Let me say this again. Have you ever been here and spoken for an hour? Set the clock. Start talking. And don't hope you don't lose people. You don't say, anyway, how about that Trump? Huh? Whew. This is 10 minutes into it. Keep going. Keep going. What else are you going to talk about? That clock just to me, I'm thinking, I can't believe an hour's gone by. So I'm thinking constantly, reading constantly. Mrs. Ellen and I are talking. Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Always framing this and then going out into the world and to apply this to the crucible, to the laboratory. Last night we went to an event. Within a week, we went to two events. Two, quote, Republicans. These are very interesting because I realize I'm not a Republican. I don't really fit in. But this is as close to anything as I can get. It's like somebody who is a soccer fan, football, regular European football, soccer, who doesn't have any soccer, but settles for football because it's kind of close and there's some similarities and, there's teams and tribalism. And yeah, it's that's kind of the way I am with this. That's the way I feel about this. Okay. But let me see if we can explain this and put this into perspective. First, I learned something, and I want to bring this back to you. I went to 2 Republican events. The first one was a complete, it's just social, bunch of social people. They're Republican in name only. They're really rhinos, literally. Their republicanism is more like it's like, isn't this great? I'm cool. That's kind of what they feel like. I'm cool. I'm a Republican. Yay, Reagan. They have no clue. They just want to party and whatever. I don't know what they want to do. The second, this was this event we went to last night, and I'm not going to go into detail, but it was really good. This is hardcore, serious, but clueless. Hardcore serious. Hardcore. Real conservative, real. But I realized, pro-Trump to the point of not wanting to be realistic, not wanting to understand how this thing really works. They love Trump so much. They don't want to say, yeah, but he could be doing, something. So I'm going to be throwing things at you left and right. It was proposed in this presentation, yet again, I sound like Douglas McGregor, again, that Michelle Obama is going to be, or they want her to be, the Democratic nominee. That Michelle Obama. Now, if you had elections like this, put your name on this ballot and Trump's name on this ballot, and they don't have to do anything. They can just be elected. I'd say maybe there's something to that. Michelle Obama would say, all right, I can do it. I don't have to campaign. No. I just put my name down there. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's it. I don't have to go on TV shows and nope. I don't have to subject myself where they make fun of me. I'm at this event last night. And we got these people and they love this joke about Michael. Ha 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 ha. And it was funny. We're in this group and somebody said, and there was a kind of an older person who did not know. You know the joke. People joke that Michelle Obama is a man. And it's, and this is what they said. Well, Joan Rivers said it and they killed her. Like, do you know what happened with Joan Rivers? I do. And I can't believe that is this a conspiracy theory or what? Do they really think Michelle Obama's a man? I mean, I know this is a joke. I know Mike, Big Mike. Okay, fine. I think they really believe it. I think they really believe it. Anyway, and by the way, it could be. I'll tell you one story. I'm not going to mention the name, but everybody that I know in show business knows there's one Hollywood notable who was born a boy, but no. Wait a minute, was it born a boy? In a time when, as you know, sometimes children are born with engorged genitalia. That used to be the name of my high school garage band, the engorged genitalia. And perhaps there was a clitoridectomy or something that was performed, and this was really a boy. Anyway, this thing's been going around forever. Do you know how stories get started? Do you know the myth? It's not a conspiracy theory. Do you know if I say to you, Richard Gere, I don't even have to say anything. I can tell you the age. I don't know what age. I could take a group of people, Gen Z, Gen A, I can't even figure this out. Gen, 8, 6, 7, 5. Remember that Jenny, Tommy Two-Tone. I could take 10 and below, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 30, whatever. And if I said Richard Gere, anybody? You could see maybe around, probably 40, because they say, oh, I heard that. And well, when I was a kid, there were these things that people said all the time about Rock Hudson. I don't think Rock, you hear that Rock Hudson married Jim Neighbors, Gomer Pyle. What? Why? I was a kid. What do you mean? Now, I have a friend of mine, one of my best buddies in the world, my age exactly. He was born in the South Bronx. This is before internet. He heard the same thing. Where did we hear it from? There was no internet. There was no nothing. How did he hear the same story we hear? And believe it or not, years ago, the story was that stockbrokers who got to the office early used to hear jokes from their European counterparts. Believe it or not, seriously. So the way stories travel is fascinating. Donna Lemo says the switching of Dems to Republican to vote for Haley is distressing, and she's dangerous in my opinion. Haley's going to drop out before South Carolina. Haley is doing something, as you know, Donna, to show her bona fides, her connections with other people. She is showing the Soroses and the money people. She's a player. Keep her on board. She might be running again. She wants to gum up the works. It's okay. Give me 5, 6 boards I can be on. I'll do it. So it's always interesting. But let me go back. But thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. But let me go back to how things work. So we're in this room and they're saying, Michael. And this older person said, what? Who? And they were trying to explain. And you always see these people who will say, no, that's what they call her. Who? Michelle. They call her Michael. Why? Because they think she's a man. Who does? They do. They. Why did they? I don't know why. They do, because she's big, or I don't know. And not besides Joan Rivers. Say, who? Joan Rivers. What does that have to do with anything? Well, Joan Rivers called her Michael, and they killed her. What? They killed her. Who killed her? They did. Who is that? The people, because she made fun of Michelle Obama. This is what people say. They believe this. I know a little bit about that matter. But these are people in a group who were very, very, very passionate, who were repeating this stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I wish I had a bell. Every time I heard something, ding, I heard stuff about October the 7th. It's like, ding, they just repeated the storyline. They were talking about 9/11. Ding, Trump. Ding. I said, that's not true. You're repeating popular stories. Not only that, the guest speaker, and listen to me carefully, listen to me like you've never listened before. This is my downfall. This is where I will never, ever, ever, ever be the biggest thing in, YouTube, whatever it is, because I disappoint constantly. I never tell you what you want to hear just so that you can hear what you want to hear. If I don't believe something, even though it crushes 90% of the room, I'm going to tell you if I believe it. So when I say something, you will believe me. But people do not. They say, oh no, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I want to go where I hear what the truth is. Let me give you an example. Stop for a second. You know the story of these Kansas City Chiefs, these people who all died? You heard this story? You heard the story, right? And they're talking about, gee, I wonder why all these people died at the same time. Almost all these people got together at the same time. Why? Why? Why do you think? Mrs. L said this like this. Why do you think all these people, you don't know anything about this. You just kind of know what's going on. Why do you think all these people died outside? They froze. Why did they freeze? They froze because they were incapacitated. Why were they incapacitated? What do you think the reason was? Quick, who tell me? Who? Who? Clinton body count. Thank you for bringing that up. Who? What do you think was the reason? Why did they die? All of them. Just guess. What do you think? Tell me. I know it takes a second for me before I say something. What do you think the reason? If you had to guess, and of course we're not experts. What do you think? What do you think? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Fentanyl. Thank you. Fentanyl. Well, Edie Crowley, by the way, Edie, got your letter. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you so much. God bless you and your family. Good for you. Hypothermia because of fentanyl. Put somebody outside. 3 people. What's it? How many, honey? 3, 4? 3. Put 3 people outside and all of a sudden say, hey, it's freezing out here. Go to sleep. Okay. 3 in the snow? 3. Raul says heart problem. Oh, they had a heart problem. Once hypothermia, once your body hits about 80 degrees, your heart goes and you're gone. What could have possibly kept you out that long? Fentanyl. She said this from my throat. Fentanyl. And by the way, do me a favor. Don't say fentanyl. N-O-L. It's N-Y-L. Did you ever have a kid? Did you ever give your kid Benadryl or Benadryl? Benadryl. No, Benadryl. Sean Martin. Now let me explain this. You didn't hear me. 3 people all die. None of them wake up. None of them come inside. None of them say, hey, it's freezing out here. 3 drunk. So you've got 3 people all that drunk simultaneously? No. Listen to the critical thinking. They all die together. What makes the most sense? Hey, I've got something. Let's party. What is it? I don't know. It's something. Let's party. Let's party. 3 people. There we are. Boop. Gone. Ta-da. 3. 3 of them. What do you need, Columbo, for this? What do you need, Columbo? 3 people? Now, they went outside, honey? They just didn't come in? They were outside, they're sleeping. Nobody
knows. They were found 2 days later, dead in the backyard, 3 of them.
Yeah, in the backyard. No, I don't know about the backyard. And that's odd. So, but anyway, but you don't, but this is just, so anyway, so this morning, so I thought, oh, there's a Michael Bodden, and I really liked him. He was a great friend of mine. I think sometimes people have dumped me because of my politics or what they think my politics. Oh, I told you, you're gonna love this one. I have 2 people. One of them says I have nothing to do with you anymore. Why? Because of your position on Palestine. On Palestine? What are you talking about? What is it? No, that's a red line with me. What is it? What did I say? I don't even know what I didn't. Anyway, there's people always dropping me. It's my life. You know what I say? F you. If that's what kind of friends you were, thanks for letting me know. Thank you. I appreciate it. F you. Drop dead and rotate. Get the hell out of here. I don't need this. I don't need this. Anyway, so the toxicology is going to tell you all this other stuff. So this morning, it was so sad. So I happened to watch Steve Ducey. Oh my God. Hey, I'm Steve Ducey. Hey. Hey. What a gig this guy's got. And this is the worst part. Whoever set this stage up, I said, oh my God. First of all, Michael Biden, I love this guy, comb his hair. He looks like Einstein on a bad hair day. Comb his hair. What do you got? Don't you have hair and makeup there? No, you think. Thanks. Then they got him on these stupid chairs where there's no place. Do you ever see these high tops where your feet dangle? It's like, what's going on here? Anyway. It was like 4 minutes of nothing. Well, the toxicology, we know that. Come on, get to the good part. Get to the good part. What do you think this is? You do know that whenever you go to a death scene, the investigator, the guy who was the how do I say this? The main investigator for the medical examiners, this guy is the best. Oh, there was this one guy. Oh, this one guy was terrific. He used to have a meat thermometer, like one of those regular meat thermometers, and he could, if they had to, depending upon the situation, he would just plunge it into the gut of the stiff, get an internal body temperature. Tell you right now how long they've been dead. These guys, they do all the work. I saw this one time. This guy took a shirt and used to go like this. So what are you doing? He said, bullets. They fall out. At the end of the trajectory, they'll go through your body, go up to your shirt, and stop. And they boom, they fall out. That's why finding the magic bullet is not that uncommon. But they go through it, and it's fascinating. Anyway. So there's this like, what are we talking about? I don't know why the fentanyl. This is the story that is. Oh, before we forget, move on. We heard about this a week or so ago. Measles outbreaks. Get ready. Measles from the illegal aliens and among regular kids here. And here's the best part. Because there are some people who say, I don't believe in any vaccines at all. Okay, all right. There were some some say are pretty good, MMR, pertussis, blah, 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 blah. Some people who are true anti-vaxxers aren't going to get their kids this stuff, and now you're going to see measles. So watch what happens. That's another story for later on. So let's go back to this. So as we were saying, I'm in this room, and I'm thinking to myself, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So the individual giving the presentation, who is very learned, says, now here's the story. The Democrats realize they need a black woman. Stop. And I can't say this. Who says they need a black woman? Who's woman? Where did you get this from? Well, because Kamala Harris. No. Forget Kamala Harris. Do you mean to tell me Democrats right now say, gotta have a black woman? Gotta have a black woman. Where did you get this from? Now they might say, black woman, that's nice. All right, that's nice. Good for you. Black woman, nice. The black magic. Well, good fine. They don't have to have it. Well, they can't have Kamala. Because Kamala, what do they want Kamala for? Well, because if Biden steps down, they're going to go to Kamala and they're going to say, listen, honey, you're out of here. Take your toys and get the hell out of here. And Kamala will say, got it. I'm out of here. You'll be set for life. You and your first fella, whatever. You go do your Davos thing or do your laugh, I think she'd be a great talk show host. Don't you think? Don't you think Kamala Harris could be like an afternoon who says, today we have a woman who made who won 12 years in a row at the county fair for her gelatin and marshmallow pie. Let's bring her out. Hey. Doesn't she sound? I think she'd be like a great greeter. She'd do a show. She'd laugh. She's worthless when it comes to. I mean, doesn't she have like if you didn't know Kamala Harris, if you didn't know who she was, you had no idea. She was on some TV show. You say, yeah, she's nice. She does the weather. And let's go right now for this man who wanted to collect pennies so his school band could go on their trip to the southeastern regionals. So he collected pennies, and he you ready for this, my friend? Let's show everybody how many pennies he collected. Bring them out, Bobby. Isn't this something? Let's go to Todd Fairbanks. Todd, come on out here. She'd be great. She's affable. But as a vice president, she's terrible. So so I'm listening. They said, well, see, if we get rid of Biden, like, then get rid of her too. What are you talking about? Well, no, Michelle Obama is going to say, wait. I live in, what's that place in DC, that real fancy Colorama. Anyway, there's this Colorama. There's this place in this district that's really fancy, where she and Barack live, and she's there. Then they got the Martha's Vineyard, and she is everywhere. She's going to the gym. She's doing her audibles. She is living the life, doing whatever the hell she wants to do. 8 years she's been through this crap. She's been waiting and waiting. She's been in the White House. You're a prisoner. You know exactly what it is. You can't do anything. So she's going to say, no, you want me to do what now? You want me to run? But I don't want to run. No. You've got to do it. Oh, another thing to do is Barack Obama. He calls the shots. No. Remember something, and I want you to write this down. Listen to me when I tell you this. If you want to find out, I can't tell you who's in charge. I can't tell you that. I don't know this. But I can tell you who's not. Anybody whose name you know, they're not in charge. You think George Soros is calling the shots? No. I mean, he does some stuff. He wants to put his money to promote leftist, what am I trying to say? Leftist DAs and things like that. But no. It's people you don't know, people who are parts of groups and movements and what. And I'll bet you, when the higher you get, you go Democrats, Republicans, then you kind of move up a little bit. And then you get into maybe globalist groups, and you go up a little bit. Internationals, little UN, little CFR, little Bilderberg, little, don't forget the Mont Pelerin, who is the Mises groups. You get those. And then you keep going up. And then you get a little bit of the BRICS versus the East and the West. Okay, you go up. And as you go up this pyramid, you start to lose. When you get to the very top, the people who actually run the show, you will see people who were in other groups that you would think would never be in the same room together. At the very top of the pyramid, these people have no political affiliation. They have no, the world is, it's like having a laboratory mice and you have a favorite mouse. No, it's the collective. It's this thing at the very, very, very top of the people who control the world, the people who are kind of in little groups and communities. And by the way, it has nothing to do with money. Do not think Jeff Zuckerberg runs anything, or Bezos. Bezos is the biggest clown of them all. And the reason why is he doesn't even pretend to want to be in charge. Zuckerberg, number one, is Bill Gates. Bill Gates wants you to think that he is the mad scientist in charge of everything from fake meat to crops to nano chemicals, and I mean, he loves this. Bezos says, I want to party with this thing I'm married to, whatever this thing is. And by the way, how about that Megyn Kelly? Isn't she courageous, going on and making fun of how Lauren Sanchez looks? I mean, for an entire show. Okay, say it in passing. But for the whole show, low-hanging fruit, kids. And nobody deals with nobody's fruit hangs lower than Megyn Kelly. Okay, fine. So anyway, so you got that. Now, You think that Michelle Obama's going to, oh, by the way, Michelle, you ready to get up early? We're going to fly back and forth. And you got Secret Service protection. Okay. What about your daughters? Leave them out of it. I don't know what they're doing. They had one daughter, bless her heart. I don't know who, Sasha, Malia. I don't know which one's which. I don't know which one is which. But there's one who's tall and looks kind of like the father, and the other one is shorter. And she's walking around, I swear to God, with a bare midriff. It looked like she gained about 20, 30 pounds. And they said, there she is, flashing her toned abs. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, where is the picture of the tone? I don't know where. This is where these people live. Remember Michelle Obama? Look at those her arms, those guns. How does she do it? This is what she wants. She's living on Martha's Vineyard, Colorado. She wants to be Oprah. Oprah has always been her. Oprah, the chosen one. This is why Cat Williams is right. Cat Williams gets it right. The chosen few, the appointed, the anointed. And she's going to say, oh, by the way, you want to get ready for this? You're going to have to start learning everything. Because, by the way, there's one thing that Biden had, which was great. He did the old, and he can walk around and act like a fool and get away with murder. You can't do that. So you have to know this. Are you going to be able to handle Trump? Trump is going to come at you and what they're going to do is they're going to go after a couple of things. Number one, defund the police, border, your Princeton thesis or whatever it was in separation, critical race theory. I mean, they're going to bury you with this. They're going to bury you with this. You ready for this? You've never had this before. You've never had this. You don't know what this is. Disrespect. You've heard it tangentially. You've never been on a dais in a debate where they're coming right after you and you have to answer. When Barack was the president, you could say, this is terrible. They're giving me a hard time. They hate me because I'm a proud black woman and I'm intelligent and I'm educated. And that'd work. They would say, leave Michelle Obama alone. She's just the first lady. What's the matter with you? Yeah, but no, leave her alone. Well, guess what? That's no more. You're front and center. You want that? They seem to think you want that. You want that? Get ready. And Trump knows how to go in and absolutely destroy you. He'll find that nerve. He'll find that sore part. And he will absolutely kill you. Can you see that in the debate? Does Michelle lose her temper? Do we know this? Chris Christie will. You want to catch her on a hot mic? You want to turn everybody. And guess what, Mrs. Obama? I'm sorry. I want you to understand something. They're going to go after you. You're going to see memes. You're going to see a cavalcade of not hate speech, but most hateful stuff you've ever seen. Get ready for this 24/7. You and your family, and you're up against this guy. And by the way, remember this. Remember something. The titular theoretical title of this, we might get to it one day, is because sometimes when I put a title up, after I put it up, I'm not sure I want to talk about this. Nearly a third of Gen Z Zillennials now identify as LGBTQIA2S infinity plus whatever it is. You want to deal with that topic? You want to deal with that? You want to talk about how we're teaching our kids? You want to stray into that area about gender? You sure about this? You know what they're going to do, right? I hope your skin is as thick as Trump's. Trump, nothing bothers him. Nothing. You know what bothers him? What bothers him is when you don't talk about him. Stand by for a second from this word from our great sponsor. All right, my friend. It's time to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you get a free gift. No purchase necessary. I know a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But listen carefully. What are we talking about? Giza Dream Bed Sheets, My Pillow 2.0, sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. Think about it. And they're monster sellers right now. Listen to me. Slippers. My slippers. Think about it. What do they do with My Pillow? They make things real soft and plush and comfy. How perfect. And when they apply that genius to slippers, look out. Look out. Look at the specials right now, but only if you use promo code Lionel. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel. Solid disproverbial. mypillow.com/Lionel or call 800-645-4965. Call right now and watch how fast Mike answers the phone. mypillow.com, the best. Indeed, it's the best. Indeed. Now, let's talk about something else. So, this is what they're talking about. And one of the things I want to tell you, whenever you go to any kind of an event, the person who was there wants to be invited back. And the person there wants you to hear what you want to hear. This is as old as, so if you go to, for example, there's let's say there's one of the few remaining talk radio stations in the world, let's assume, and it's a conservative station. Imagine like the old WABC. And it was funny because there were people, the programming was different then, because John Minnelli, who was a program director, was genius enough to put on this woman by the name of Lynn Samuels, who was as left as you can get, but she had a personality. She was as loved by everybody as you could imagine, but she was a lefty because he went for personality. Today, they will merely put people on who mirror and echo the collective thought of what appears to be the Republican base or whatever it is. So they're not going to be that interesting. So they're going to say whatever it is. So I'm at this event, and the speaker says, and don't worry, Donald Trump is going to win. He's going to win. And I'm thinking, I know when he's going to win. He just got invited back because people are clapping. If you went to a doctor and your doctor said, we found a spot on your lung, am I going to make it? Very good chance. I don't know. We have to do more tests. What kind of test you want to do? Well, we're going to do this. So tell me, am I going to make it? Tell me what I want to hear. I can't tell you this. I don't know yet. This is the first stage. It could get worse, could get better. I've seen words. Tell me what I want to hear. Okay, you're going to be fine. Great. Thank you very much. Is that a good doctor? I don't know, but they're going to come back. And they're going to tell their friends, this guy's great bedside manner. Terrific. Yeah, but he told you. Doesn't matter what he told me. I don't want to hear the truth. I want to hear what I want to hear. Okay. This is when I thought, I normally don't gasp when I hear something. They said, now who should Donald Trump pick for his vice presidential nominee? And one thing that was said was just true. He says, you don't win. The proper nominee is not going to make you win, but you can lose. You pick the wrong person, you can lose. Okay, fair enough. The names that came up, 2 names. Number 1, Vice President Kari Lake. And I said, I thought, you've got to be kidding. In a general election? What are you? And they're looking at me like, we like Kari Lake. I said, that's the problem. If you like him, that tells me everything. Sorry. General election, don't want it. This one, she's going to be, no. She's going to be quiet, sitting back, going to funerals? No. But the other one that made sense, believe it or not, I thought, you know what? Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Why? Smart, accomplished, handles the press like nobody. Ari, is it Fleischer years ago was good. Ron, not Jaworski, Ron, what's his name? I'm trying to think about the great. Remember, remember who was the guy that, in fact, they made fun of? Sean Spicer. Remember that? The comedian who does it. It's fantastic. But Sarah Huckabee, I'm going to say something which is borderline cruel, but absolutely true. If you want to have a woman, you're going to need women voters. And no woman is going to vote for a woman that they feel could ever compete with them if they were in a social setting and this one walked into the room. No. Sorry. Have you ever heard that? No. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is not by any, she's not a troll or anything, but her whole thing is, I'm competent. I'm not threatening. I'm very good. I'm a politician. I could be your president. I don't get upset. I don't. Absolutely. Our politics notwithstanding. Carrie Lake can't walk into a room with her Gucci belt and nope, nope. Sorry. It's a different world, my friend. But you see, I was in a room where they love Carrie Lake. I was at a thing one time where Carrie Lake spoke, and I thought people were going to go crazy. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Do you understand? That's why, again, nobody wants to hear from me because I'm thinking, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I give this all. I tell you this all the time. You know, I'm a plant-based diet person. I would not open up a plant-based restaurant. No way. No way I'd serve hot dogs and this and that because that's where you make money. You don't make money on kale, even though I think it's better for you. I don't care about that. I want to make money. I want to franchise this. You're not going to franchise it with Sprouts. It doesn't work like that. And I know this. What I think personally has nothing to do with what I think politically. Now, I will tell you one thing, which is very interesting. The people who comprise historically the Democratic Party, I heard this, and I think to an extent this is true. African Americans, Latinos, single women, and Gen Zers. Now, let me ask you this. Let me get to this first. I heard this very prominent person suggest that Trump is doing blockbuster numbers with Gen Zers. I guess 30. I don't even know what a Gen Z is. What is that? 30? Less than 30? I don't know, whatever. Do you believe for a moment that Trump, no, not what you want to be true, but if you have a Gen Zer, do you think that Trump is resonating or resonating with Gen Zers? Anybody? Do you know young people say, hey, that Trump is great? And that no matter who it is, whether it's Michelle Obama, which is ridiculous, but let's assume it's Gavin Newsom, which is what I think. Do you know anybody? Do you know any kids? Any kids? Look at this. Chip Roy for vice president. What are you, nuts? Do you want to win the election or not? They're going to say, okay, I'll vote for Trump. But Chip Roy? I just told you. A vice president will lose the election. What are you, nuts? Are you crazy? Chip Roy? No. For the country? In a general election? Vote for him? No. You hear this? They can't afford to live on their own. Trump is looked upon as the adjuster. Do you think that? Do you think most people don't? I don't think they think that. I don't think most young people think even at that depth. They look at somebody and they go, yay or nay. They swipe. It's a Tinder world for them. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. That's it. You're kidding me. And by the way, I think we should put Hillbilly as the vice president. I mean, if you're gonna go for something nuts, I'm gonna put you on, or maybe Cat Turd. That's a good one. How about, ladies and gentlemen, Cat Turd? Cat Turd. What? Well, have him on. How about Hunter? How about when Donald? No, who is it? Don Jr. said, "Yeah, we're looking on to hunt Tucker Carlson." Are you kidding me? I mean, is anybody serious about this? Is anybody serious? Are you kidding? Or are you just talking about what do you like? What do you like? I'm writing up the menu for the restaurant. I'm in a room full of plant based. They're going, chickpea. No, no chickpeas. This is a restaurant. We're not going to make money. But it's better for you. I don't care whether it's better for you. I don't care. We're in a restaurant. It's a different mindset. It's a different mindset. Politics is different. Now, blacks, African Americans, absolutely. Now, one of the things which is the most important, I've been telling you since this, the core, the base of black and African American voters is a conservatism. And if you bring up this LGBTQ, you've heard me talk about Cat Williams. Cat Williams talks about how this Tyler Perry, why is everybody wearing a dress? And that means more. It's a very good point. Because there is this encroachment. There is this advance. There is this rather insidious underbelly that's promoting a way of thinking and a way of that is absolutely not a problematic. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Listen to me like you've never listened before. Yep. I don't know what this word means. I don't understand how this stuff works. I was listening to, let me ask you something. How would you handle Israel and Palestine in the upcoming election? How would you handle? You're going to tell Trump, you're going to win. Okay, if you win, what would you advise Trump to do and to say regarding Israel / Palestine / whatever? What would you suggest? What? Anybody? What would you suggest? What would you think? What would you say? What would be your recommendation? What would it be? Any idea? Any clue? What would you tell him? What would you do? What would you say? Anybody? Go hard, Israel, go Palestine, 2 states. What would you do? Very simply, avoid it at all costs. Nobody's going to care about it. Americans don't care about it. Americans have been hearing about Israel for 75 years. They don't know 67 from 73, from the Sinai to the Golan to whatever. They don't know. They were raised in this. They were raised in this from the beginning of time, that there has always been a problem. They have been raised in this. Raised. That's all they know. And they're not hanging on to, are you going to reach out to Sinwar and the Palestinians? What would you talk about bombing Iran? Are you hearing this? Are you hearing who is it? Lindsay, was it? I'm trying to think of it. Lindsey Graham. But if it's a Mitch McConnell, they're talking about you want to bomb Iran? Oh my God! What do you think Iran is? Do you want to? Americans hate war. Look at what happened with Ukraine. Nobody understood anything about America. Never got in behind Ukraine. Never got into it. America doesn't want to know anything. Let me tell you what absolutely we need more than anything in the world. You ready for this? What America loves? Isolationism. Call it America first. I'll make a deal with you. When all of our problems are corrected, when infrastructure is corrected, when roads and everything works, I promise you, I will get to the bottom of this. I promise you, I promise you, I will get to this. I will correct this. When we have everything figured out, I'll do that. Does that make a deal with you? Does that make a deal? Is there anybody? Good. We have problems. We have borders that are they don't exist. Fentanyl here, kids abducted, crime, retail theft, inflation, our own energy concerns. I will get to that when we have everything taken care of here. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Anybody have a problem with that? I will take care of this if I have time here. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Taylor says, I've heard no mention of the Electoral College, and you shan't. And you shan't. Thank you. Doesn't Barry Taylor sound like a confused answer in the music trivia? Who did the song Love to Love You Baby and the Love Unlimited Orchestra? Barry Taylor? Was it Barry's? Johnny Taylor? No, Barry. Larry Taylor? No, Barry. The big guy. Come on, baby. Remember Barry White? Wasn't he great? Come on, baby. Come on, you know I wanna tie you up. Remember that song? What is this? Those were great. Love Unlimited. Da, 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 da. There was a song, Pillow Talk by Sylvia. Remember that one? Hey, baby, let's go outside. Oh, they're all orgasmic. Remember that? That was music. How do you dance to that? Dynamo hum in any event. So let me put this into perspective. Lisa couldn't stand Barry White. What's the matter with you? Barry White I want him to do our, remember this? He could barely move. Remember when the Isley brothers got so big towards the end? They were huge. But Barry White, who was it? Not Big Mama Thornton, but the guy who did, what was he? Who was sitting in a chair, couldn't even get up anymore. BB King towards the end. Remember that? Remember that? BB King at the end couldn't play, couldn't do anything. He would sit on the stage with John Mayer and Derek Trucks and Thrill's gone, baby. He would do this. He would take his fist, back of his fist, and that's what he was reduced to. On a chair. Okay. That's a gig. I'll do that. Yeah. Donna Summer, come on. Love to love you, baby. Ooh. Mrs. L loves Donna. Oh, man. She's the queen of the disco. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Remember Trucks and Tedeschi? I remember watching Derek Trucks Hot Pocket when I was at the West Coast Blues in the Tampa Bay area, the area now, not Tampa Bay. It was at the Bayfront Center, and it was the best. Oh, Rock Bottom and this and that, and Lucky Peterson, Buddy Guy. I mean, we had a place in Tampa. I don't even know if it's still there. Skipper Smokehouse. It was terrific with a blue. Anyway, they had Derek Trucks. He was a kid because Butch Trucks, I think, is his dad or his uncle. Anyway, they bring this little kid out. He was incredible. I'm not a slide person. Solomon Burke, yes. I'm not a slide person, but by the way, I saw this. I was watching a video. I do this on my private channel. I do a video, I do a news story, and then I reference a music piece. I came across, have you ever heard of Muriel Anderson? She plays the harp guitar and she plays the funkiest stuff. I got a video with her and Tommy Emmanuel. Tommy Emmanuel is like just he's a guy you love him in addition to just appreciating his greatness. There's so much good. Oh my God, the the music, and I love to showcase if at all possible. Have you heard Ali Venable? This this blues young girl, she plays with Buddy Guy. I was listening to old Gary Moore. There's a thing called the Blackberry Sessions. Nickel Creek, remember them? There is a Japanese young lady. Is it called Petty Rock? I'm not really sure. These Japanese blues guitarists, I don't even think they know what they're singing. They're incredible. And I don't even. There was a Chinese bluegrass. He was doing it's not Rocky Top, but sitting on top of the world or something. I don't even think they knew what they were singing. It almost made you cry. It was beautiful. Jocelyn Gould, another one. Anybody ever hear the Fender Tones? Molly Tuttle. Old Guy Clark. I was listening to Eric Johnson. Remember the Cowboy Junkies? Brenda Russell when she was Joe Bonamassa. How about Anna Vidovich playing classical guitars? I was going through some old one. There's this great piece on John Prine introducing Lyle Lovett. Jennifer Nettles, phenomenal. How about Bobby Blue Bland, Bobby Rush, Johnny Taylor? There we go. I'm looking at here we go. Ulla Van Dalen. She plays harp. She's doing tubular bells on a harp. How about John Jorgensen with the old Desert Rose? I'm going through the list. Gail Costa, great bossa nova doing wave. Nicolette Larson. Oh my God. Russell Smith. Great old Shaka Khan. You know I like too? Colin Hay. Mike Stern and Randy Brecker. There's a woman, her name is Cyril Amy. There is so much. The music today. I got to tell you something. Listen to what I'm saying to you. The music is so great that no matter how bad the politics get, no matter how awful everything is, what I'm hearing and seeing, and young women there was this glass, let's face it, women guitar players, female guitar players, Bonnie Raitt. Now forget it. Tal Wilkenfeld on bass, thanks to Jeff Beck. This incredible perfusion of great, because they thought for some, little lady, bass is too big for you. No. Anyway, so that's my good news. My good news is to tell you that things are going great. Things are going great. Okay, now, here's what I want you to do. Very, 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 listen to me very carefully. Number one, I want you to promise me you go to YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. And you go to Mrs. L's, this is the link, Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. And sign up for this. This is the most important channel there is. And let me tell you something. It's raw. It is absolute fact-based, and it is brutally important and critical that you know this. There's no schmaltz, no bells and whistles, no other agendas. That's all I'm going to tell you. So that's her link right there, and this is her Twitter account. Do me a favor. This is the end of her birthday month. Boy, these people just. Please, please, please. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. I'm going to ask you a question which has no relevance, and if you want to just go and leave me because it's a question that is purely philosophical. It has no bearing on any kind of political aspects, but it is something which I want to ask you. So if you don't want to get into this, please, I understand. Have a nice day. Don't ever change. But if you love philosophical questions, listen to this. I saw a picture the other day of a friend of ours who she's not fat, but she's by no means thin. And it was a picture at an event where she was, and I looked and I said, "Who's this?" And it was a thinning filter. She looked nothing like this. There are filters where people don't look. Give you another one. Friend of mine had a picture with his girlfriend, and they did one of these, these selfies. He didn't know this, but she had him on her camera doing a selfie. I asked Mrs. L, has he had work done? He looked almost, I don't want to say Asian, but there was like an epicanthus, like a blepharoplasty or something. I said, has he had work? He can't be. He's a young man. He said, what do you mean? I said, look at this picture. Look at this picture. And she said, oh no, that was her filter. She didn't turn the filter off. They did a selfie, so he looks like Key Luke. Now, here's the question. If this isn't you, how far can you go where you have affected your weight, your look, your wrinkles, your eyes, your arms, where you might as well say, you know what, I'll just put an AI picture in there. How long listen to me carefully. I'm telling you, one day you will have an avatar, you will have an AI emoji as you. Remember the old days they had, remember that, what was the one, honey, where they had like the stupid cat look with the nose, and what the hell was that? That was an experiment. That was to pull you into it and say, well, we're just adding some features. No, eventually you will lose the way you look, and it'll be your thumbnail. It'll be your illustration. You know how sometimes they'll take a picture, they'll do a cartoon of it. They'll do it so that you can disappear. You will disappear by virtue of this. Kansas says some people already do use avatars for their profiles a lot in different platforms. That's interesting, Kansas. But I'm saying is they're going to lose themselves. And then you're going to ask yourself, why worry about anything? Why worry about any kind of plastic surgery or fillers when you can just, because most people only exist in social media, are going to do it. Okay. That's all I want to say. There is so much depth to this question. You have literally no idea. Dear friends, have a great and a glorious time. See you this eve at 7 p.m. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because I got other videos coming up. A lot of stuff. And your thoughts and comments are always appreciated. Thank you. You are great. You are wonderful. You are glorious. You are a woman, hear me roar. And I've never been to me. I mean that. All right, friends. Talk to you later. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dead.